Now at 5, we're getting ready to race for the cure. We have just a few hours left before kickoff. And you may be thinking of all the gladiators in the fight against breast cancer, one of which was Stefanie Spielman. Her public battle with the disease gripped Central Ohio for more than a decade. Stefanie passed away in 2009, but her legacy of hope lives on through her children.
She was all about courage, and she was all about strength, and she was all about family.
Maddie Spielman was just 15 years old when her mother Stefanie lost her very public battle against breast cancer. For more than a decade, Stefanie Spielman sacrificed her privacy in hopes of helping other women in similar situations.
And in her mind, if just one person could identify with her story and kind of feel like they're not alone, it would be so worth it to her in the end.
At the time, Maddie didn't quite understand the impact that decision would have here in Central Ohio, but today she gets it.
You know, for my mom to put herself out there, I know that was like a hard decision for her, but also like, look at all the good that it's done. And
when I asked Maddie to share a favorite memory of her mom, she took me back to September 5th of 2009 at Ohio Stadium.
You know, that day was one of her last public appearances, but she wanted that day to be all about my dad because he was getting inducted to the College Football Hall of Fame. And I remember that she was confined to this wheelchair, and they wheeled us out there at halftime to honor him. And you know, she hadn't had a lot of mobility leading up to that, but I just remember her holding up her fist and kind of fist bumping, and she gave all of her strength just to show my dad that she was still here for him and still supporting him.
And 13 years after her death, Stefanie still had more to give. It was recently discovered that she had written a manuscript called Cancer Boo Boo. The story is told from the perspective of a young Maddie to help parents and young children dealing with a cancer diagnosis.
And I knew in that moment, I'm like, I have to get this done for her. I have to get this published.
And she did. Maddie says seeing their story on paper has been special for the entire family.
I just hear her voice speaking through this book, and it's been so cool.
Stefanie worked tirelessly to raise breast cancer awareness and helped raise millions of dollars for OSU's James Cancer Hospital. Now Maddie has stepped right into those shoes, working as a fundraiser at the James.
To be surrounded by cancer constantly, I'd be lying if I said it wasn't hard, but also to see how far we've come in the strides in research and advancements in technologies that we've made. I mean, it gives me hope that we are gonna beat this thing, and that's why I wake up every day and continue to fight for a cure.
Now, when her parents first started the Stefanie Spielman Fund for Breast Cancer Research back in 1998, Maddie says they had a goal of raising $250,000. Well, today that fund has raised nearly $26 million. The book, Cancer Boo Boo, is available now on Amazon, and we have a link to the book with this story on 10tv.com. Part of the proceeds will go to the Spielman Fund.